Welcome back. This is the last part of today's lecture. So, we were discussing the relationship between trade balance and exchange rates. And I was telling you that if the value of domestic currency changes, there is an impact on trade balances, but with a time delay. Okay. So, This is best uh, um, this is best described by this so-called J curve. Remember, it is not like a straight J, but it's this curve looks close to J. So, for example, let's assume that there is a trade deficit in a country initially. Okay, so above this line, there is trade balance, and below this line, there is trade deficit. So suppose in period T1, the country has trade deficit, and it is currently operating at this stage. And domestic currency is devalued with the hope that um, the country will gain an advantage in competitive advantage in the export market. Its export will become cheaper. So over time, it will export more and import less because import will be more expensive. And as a result, the trade balance, the trade deficit will come to a balance. That is the expectation. But what we see in practice is that there is a delayed impact. So export and import both are supposed to change. Export is supposed to increase and import is supposed to decrease with the currency devaluation. But there is a concept of elasticity from your basic economics 101 unit. You may know about price elasticity of demand. So price elasticity of demand represents the changes in quantity demanded for a 1 percentage point change in the price. Okay, so demand elasticity for all the goods are not exactly the same. So what happens is export commodities, they are less responsive than import commodities. So if there is a increase in import prices, we see the immediate impact. But we see the immediate impact. So on import cost, okay. But with a reduced export price, you cannot expect to gain the benefits of increased export immediately because the export the demand the elasticity of export is relatively lower. It's less sensitive to price changes. That's why in the short to medium term we see that the current account deficit is actually further deteriorates. Okay, so after currency devaluation, import price increases more than increase in export. Okay, that's why that's why we see a decline in the trade deficit. However, over time, we see that the currency devaluation start working in the export market, and the exporters gain competitive advantage in the international market, and over time we see that that the trade balance actually improves. Okay, so this is the so-called J curve. Okay, uh, so this is all about the relationship between trade adjustment to exchange rates.